Hello and welcome to Imagination Mansion. I thought I would do something a bit different this month, partially because usually one of the things that holds me off from making a video is what I look like, not in the sense of, I'm hideous or anything like that, but more usually I definitely look like I need a shower, I've just got out of the shower, or I've already gotten into my comfy clothes, which are clothes that I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing outside, so definitely wouldn't feel comfortable wearing in a video. So I thought, okay, if that's the reason why I'm not making the video, I just won't show myself other than my hands. My very, very pale hands. But yeah, so this is going to be sort of like my monthly wrap-up / what I've been doing for the month. It's a little bit late, again, because we've just come back from a wedding that was near London, which, in contrast to where we live, is about 8 hours on the train and about 6 trains. So, we were not in the county, and then we were very tired. So, on that note, I will first go through what I've been reading. So, I finally finished this one, which is Rapthology by Wretch32. I enjoyed it, but I did struggle through the last bit of it. I think partially just because the pieces that he uses are so long, and he references in the sort of like more descriptive bits of the rap that I did have to I felt like I had to keep going backwards and forwards. And also, I think because it's just so different to the kind of music I listen to, there was a lot of terminology and things that I just didn't understand. But I did like how it is broken up into sections, and how he'll basically put forward a song and then talk about it. And yeah, because it's got the what each section is called, and then sort of like what he's going to talk about in them. And it was very interesting because he, as you can imagine, has a very different life to what I do, and so it was very interesting to read about sort of like the problems that he's had based on like who he is, where he lives, his upbringing, systematic issues, all that kind of stuff, and how he manages to use that in his work and sort of like use it creatively instead of just letting it stagnate. He's like, no, I want people to hear it, I want people to see it. And these are a reference to the Where All the World's a Stage from Shakespeare. But yeah, like I said, it did take me a little bit longer to like get, because I think I got to about here and I really, really slowed down. But I think that was also just life. But I did enjoy it. It was definitely interesting. So that's that one. And next up we have a completely different one, which is No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. And this was... I read this all in one go just because it was so moving and kind of like I wanted to know. It was so gripping and poetic and lyrical, and I know that's partially to do with the translator, who for this one is Donald Keene, I think is his name. But it is beautiful, and it's beautifully sad. Like people who know the story will sort of like know what it's about, but yeah, it was so moving, and I just felt so bad at certain points, especially for all these people that keep trying to help him and it's just not quite working, or it does for a bit and then XYZ happens. But yeah, it was a beautiful book. Okay, and two that I have been reading but haven't finished yet are this one, which you'll probably have seen before, which is A Book of Noises by Caspar Henderson. I don't know why. It is a good book. I just don't find myself reaching for it as often. But I am enjoying it. I am, like, when I am reading it, I do find it interesting. And yeah, it's because I've got through the space bit first. And now I'm on to Sounds of Nature. So I am getting through it slowly but surely. That's that one. And then lastly, what I'm reading is Yevgeny Zamyatin's We, which is the precursor / inspiration for like 1984 and Brave New World and the ones that came after. And it's very interesting because it kind of shows like the kind of, I guess, brainwashing is the only way I can really put it, that goes on, because there's all this stuff that's happening and it's like stuff that we, like, as an outsider would be like, what the hell is happening? And he's like, oh, this is wonderful, this is perfect. And then as everything's falling apart, even when he's gone like, oh, maybe it's not perfect, he's still craving it, because like the whole point of this one state, which is sort of like which is this version's like Big Brother kind of thing, is like, oh, the more freedom you have, the less happy you are, so you will be completely unfree, everything is timetabled, so that means you'll be wonderfully happy because you don't have like any problems. And yeah, it's sort of like we're getting to the point where he's like starting to like break out of that. But yeah, it is very, very interesting, especially at the moment. So something that I've been busy doing is world building for a D&D campaign. At the moment I have run the session 0, so where we chat, we talk about the session, like what's going to happen, likes, dislikes, you know, like what do you not want to talk about, etc. And I've also run 2 individual sessions, and I've asked 3 people to play with me, so I've got 1 more solo session left, and then we'll do a session 1, sort of one shot, to like, as it like a mini adventure to like round up and be like, okay, this is the world. It will be a complete event, like mission, I suppose would be the right word, just because like as like an introduction. But as part of that, even though I will probably not use them, or at least use them very sparingly, I started making what I guess you can call my world's version of tarot cards. So I did make a reel about them, which is YouTube short. I made a YouTube short about them. I did also make them a reel on my Instagram, to be fair. And this was version 1. So this is basically just blank greetings cards cut in half, and then felt tip for the pictures. And then I decided to do sort of like a more quote-unquote grown-up version, I suppose. So I made them a bit bigger. I actually drew around some oracle cards that I have. And then I also did this on the back of all of them to make them a bit more uniform. Still not perfectly uniform, as you can see, they're all kind of different sizes. And then I sort of did the lines, made the writing kind of like the same size on all of them, gave some of them a bit more detail, and sort of like, so this was kind of like the version 2. I'll probably, knowing me, I will probably end up making a 3rd version or something, because I've just really liked making things like with my hands, like artwork and little bits and pieces and little interactive things, and it's been like, I think, really good for me, because I was finding myself just getting like incredibly stagnant, like I was doing the same things over and over again, and yeah, it was good to just faff about with something and just doodle and cut things out, and yeah, tactile creativity was quite nice. So yeah, although don't do what I did, because I finished these by staying up till about 6 a.m. one day, and I think I'm still recovering. Because apparently I can no longer pull all-nighters. Which is fair enough, I'm getting a bit older. But yeah, it's a bit of a short one this time, because like I said, that's kind of what I've been up to Like I said, we've been quite busy. We've had weddings and things to go to and a lot of traveling, and it's been quite busy at work as well. So yeah, sorry this is a bit late, and I will do my best to be a bit more punctual next time and also have something to talk about, because like I said, because it was so busy this month, I didn't really do much that was things, you know, I can show you. But yeah, I like the idea of making more stuff and making videos of me making more stuff. Especially because that means then I don't have to just sit here and be like, this is what I've done in the month. Absolutely nothing in terms of books or things. So, I mean, we'll see. And we'll see how this sort of like setup works, because I do think this takes a lot of the pressure off me to have everything kind of like perfect, or at least camera/outdoor ready, which like I said was one of the reasons why I didn't really I wasn't good at making videos kind of thing. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I will be probably giving updates on stuff like this. I don't know if I'll be making any videos on D&D stuff, but if you'd like that, let me know and I can see sort of like what I can talk about. Because this is my first time being a DM. Like, I've been a player before, mostly like I've been in one full-length campaign and then a bunch of one-shots. So this will be my first time actually being on the other side of the table. And obviously I decided, instead of like buying a book that someone else had written, I decided to make everything, including the setting, from scratch, because that is just me in a nutshell, to be honest. Well, yeah, I will see you next time.